Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Square Foot Show preview interview with artists. And we're so excited to be having a coastal show. I don't know about where you are, but the weather where I am is turning and we're getting outside. We're starting to see daffodils and tulips come up. And it is the perfect time for a coastal show because we are all ready. We are all ready to go coastal. And I just want to talk to you about the Squarefoot Show. I'm Julia Veenstra. I'm one of the co-founders of Squarefoot Show, but I want to give you a little bit of a background. SquarefootShow.com was begun a few years ago when I was running a show out of my studio. I had a studio in Hamilton, and I always ran what was called a Squarefoot Show at Christmas time. And I had about 30 different artists who would send me their work from across Canada, and I would sell it on my walls. And I would have a lineup of 60 to 70 people outside my studio. They would come in and they would literally take the paintings off the wall. It was fast. It was furious. Sometimes I felt a little bit bad for people who had, general anxiety about a crowd because it wasn't a very big studio and there were a lot of people in there, and they would buy one or two or three paintings. And I had a lot of followers on Instagram at that point and Facebook, and people would say, "How can we buy at your Squarefoot show?" And I would always say, "I don't know," because it's a live show. You have to come to the show, you have to line up, you have to be first in line sort of thing to get the pieces that you wanted. Then COVID hit, and I could not do the live show. And I had worked with the other co-founders of Squarefoot Show, Brock, Lindsay, and Elias. And I had worked with them before on my website and my marketing things. And I came to them and I said, is there a way for us to put this online? And we said, okay, that's great. Elias asked me a few questions, and I would work with work with Lindsay and Brock on all the details and getting the artists right and getting their images. And we said to the artists, don't send me your work, simply send me photos, and we're going to put your work up, and we're going to go and do an online only show. And I think we were one of the first people to pivot during COVID and to go online. And it was amazing. Elias asked me, like, how many people do you think are going to be shopping? And I had about 200 images, paintings from all the artists and myself. And I said, well, I had a lot of people ask me if they could be part of the show and or buy from the show before. So maybe, we'll get an extra 50 buyers, that are looking. So we said, okay. So we had a standard, I think it was a WooCommerce website where we put it all up and we went live at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Well, it was such a success. 2,000 people hit the site. It was crazy. You knocked us out for a loop. It was amazing. That night when I was going to bed, I had checked in to see, how many sales, and I realized we had sold more than we had. So I had to go back in the morning, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this artist sold 7 of the same painting. I sold, 12 of the same painting. We had 20 to 30 paintings in duplicate because the site that we had used, the platform that we had used wasn't strong enough to deal with microseconds. People were buying the same image in a microsecond. It was wonderful. So then the next day, my savvy team decided, hey, let's make squarefootshow.com a real thing. Let's make it a business. Let's make it an online show to beat the band. And we did. We took it online. We formed an organization, and we started being able, because we took it online, we were able to recruit artists from across the globe. At this point, we've had artists that have been showing their work from Dubai, from England, from UK, from India, the United States, and Canada. And it has been a joy to connect artists to collectors and to collect collectors to artists. And oh, I got a question over here. Are the artists across Canada local to you? No, no. BC artists are thousands of miles away. It is an exciting, exciting opportunity. So it's only online. You go there by going to squarefootShow.com, and there'll be a link that goes live at 8 p.m. to take you to the show. Or you can go to shop.squarefootshow.com, because what we did, we had to go to Shopify to build our platform, because we had a fast, furious show, and the shows after that continued to be the same. We call it the Black Friday of art. people log on. We sell most of our paintings in the first 8 hours. So now, after 3 years of doing consistent shows, building a body of artists, we have sold, I think, close to 4,500 12 by 12 paintings, all for one cost. It's $350 US, Canadian, and 300 US. So that's all, any artist, it's $350 for their 12 by 12 painting. And we have crossed the $1 million mark. In fact, I think we're looming up into close to 1.5. But selling art by local artists or Canadian, global artists at this point, it has been so much fun. It has been, I think I'm the biggest purchaser though, guys. I think I buy the most because my walls are just covered. I can't help but want a piece of the artist. I just want a piece of the artist, and being able to buy them at the Square Foot Show has been great. Now I always wait. I wait till the show goes live, and I compete just like anybody else to get my piece, because it is fast and furious. So that's one of the things we recommend, that you purchase your pieces one at a time, and because literally they can be taken right out of your cart. So if you're putting art in your cart and you're wandering around the show and you're looking, if you haven't purchased it, somebody could buy it and it will be not available. That first show was amazing. I got phone calls after phone call. I can't get the piece. I had it in my cart, and it was a little stressful, but also so crazy to see something so successful. And we've been able to grow it, and our roster of artists has grown. Every show we have about 30 to 50 artists, up to about 200 pieces at this point, because we have gone monthly. So we had a show in January, and we had a show in February, and now the Coastal show is the March show. And if you have not seen the artists, we need you to go and register right now at squarefootshow.com, because you're going to there's an automation that's happening right now. The preview is up. You're going to get the password into your email to get in and go see that preview. You can also follow us on Instagram, and you can scroll around and look at the artists that are in the show and see their work. And the neat thing that we do here at Square Foot Show is we aren't gatekeeping the artist information. You get to know who they are. You can follow them on Instagram. You can have their email. You can connect with them, because after the show, you may want to buy a bigger piece. And that's what's been so exciting about Square Foot Show. We've managed to launch quite a few careers. We've had a dentist who is no longer a dentist. We've had a pharmacist who's no longer a pharmacist. We've had artists who will send me notes about how Square Foot Show has helped to launch their career. And that to me is so, so exciting. We encourage you, if you are an artist, to go to squarefootshow.com and check out the shows. We have a list of shows that are open for you to apply to. There's a link, and you can find all the information there. And we're continuing to grow our website. We're going to be adding tips and things like that to the website, but it has been fast and furious. And right now we're doing every month for 24 hours only, Every piece is $350 or 300 American. And it's great. The artist will then have 10 days. They'll get your information. They'll connect with you. If you're the collector, they will connect with you and they will send you out their pieces within 10 days. So it's really, really fun. And yes, I see a comment. It is fantastic about how online has opened up to the world. And I do once in a while get questions like, where do I go to see this show? And it's online. It's at squarefootshow.com. So today I have a real treat. I can show you a few of my pieces. So the artists that are involved with the show are emerging and established. So for the established artists, this is a real discounted sale. And you'll find that when you go to them straight, that their prices may be higher. And I always encourage them to do that. Your opportunity to buy is the 24 hours of this show. We're a little sneaky like this, but we encourage the artists, like if people come to you after the show, sell at your regular price. So my regular price is $600. And so you'll see that I have it's hard to figure out how to hold it. I've got the 12 by 12s. They sell for $600. And this is one of my pieces. This one is called Tofino. So if you know the Canada Coast at all, this is a Tofino coast. My next one is called A Date with My Grandson. This is a precious memory. I took him out, but he was running along. He was running along the coast here. But this is normally $600. It'll be available March 13th. At 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's when the show goes live. Right now, you can see the preview. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You'll be able to purchase this for $300. And then I've got one more in the show. And the artist put in 3 to 5. And I've put in 3. And this one is called Lost Logs. So my coastal themes are all from the BC coast because 2 of my kids live out there. And we did a really wonderful nostalgic trip that gave me lots of really pleasant memories. So I'm going to go right now. We have 3 artists that we're going to be interviewing. And I'm going to go right now to Olive Chan. And we're going to find out who Olive is and what she's done for the show. There you are, Olive.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm well. I'm excited.
Good. Now, I have a question. If you were new and you didn't know anything about Square Foot Show, did I answer all your questions? Is there anything I should have said?
I think all the basics are covered.
Okay. So, Olive, let's ask you a few. Who are you? Where are you? And what did we want to see a few things that you presented to the show, but tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Hello, everyone who's out there watching. And my name is Olive. I am Canadian. I'm proudly Canadian. I currently live in Port Coquitlam, BC, which is just outside of Vancouver. But I grew up in Ontario.
Okay.
So I've kind of had the experience of both. Something that you need to know about me is that I am a sky fanatic. I'm a little bit obsessed about skies, and that's primarily what I love to paint because I like to look at skies. I like to take photos. I like to receive photos from people. And I find that skies, like whenever I look at a sky, I feel like, like the world is bigger than my little issues. And I feel like that's what I try to communicate through my art is that to just give people a little space.
A little bit of a break.
Yes. Yeah. Because I think we all deal with so much in the world and in our lives and just to be able to look at something beautiful and be like,
That's right. So people can find you where on Instagram?
I am at Olive Chan Art.
Olive Chan Art. Very simple. Are you in any galleries at this point?
I am not at this point. I work mostly in commissions. So I really love working with somebody to create something that's personal and custom. And that's primarily what my like avenue right now is.
Right. Are you a full-time artist?
I am a part-time artist. I am a mother. That's my
That's full time.
primary job right now. So I do what I can kind of with the time that I have.
That's okay. That's great. So Olive, I mean, they haven't even seen your work yet, but they can find you at Olive Chan Art as well as at .com. Is that your
Yeah,
website?
my website's olivechanart.com. Yeah.
Okay. Show us the pieces that you've prepared for Square
Sure.
Foot Show. And again, everybody, while Olive's getting ready, March 13th is our show at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, squarefootshow.com. Oh, it is beautiful.
So this one's called Vitamin C, SEAC. And I just feel like it's a dose of everything that's good about like a summer day on the coast. And it was inspired by a trip to Vancouver Island with my family.
Yep. I can
Yeah.
see it. The BC or the Pacific Coast is very unique, isn't it?
It is. It is.
Yeah. Yeah. I can tell when it's BC versus the Atlantic Ocean.
Yes. They're so unique and so different and both so beautiful.
Absolutely. All right.
So this is my second one. This is called In a Reflective Mood. And it's inspired by my friend Max here. He took a photo from Port Moody, BC.
Okay.
Which is a little bit of an inlet. So the water is a bit calmer. And I just really loved the form of the clouds reflected in the water. And
it's really beautiful. And that pink horizon.
A little bit of the pink. Yeah.
And is it acrylic or oil?
It's acrylic. Yes. So I work in acrylics. And I like working really large, like 5 feet big paintings. Awesome. But I also like working really small. So this is a bonus here. It's a pistachio shell. My hands are shaking because.
And you've painted it?
Yeah, I did.
That's funny.
So I like all sizes of painting.
Yes. And
then this one is called Another Day of Grace.
Oh, that is beautiful. I love this composition. Wow. I love the waves being so close to the bottom of that painting. That's really special. I like that, Olive.
Thanks, Julia. Yeah, so this was inspired by a family trip out to Vancouver Island. And we went sunset chasing one evening as a family. We're just like, okay, everyone hop in the car. It looks like it's going to be a nice sunset. And we went to French Beach.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's fun. And so you have a family, obviously. How old are your children?
So I have a 13-year-old and a 10-year-old. They're both girls.
So busy mom.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they're wonderful kids and I love them.
So do you have 3 in the show or 5 in the show?
I have 3 paintings. So it's
3 pieces.
Yeah.
So is there anything else you want to tell about yourself? People can reach you through your website or through Instagram, because when you go to Square Foot Show, guys, Instagram, you can link. We always have the link to the artist. So you'll be able to directly go to Olive and find her work. And she likes to do commissions. So if you have a favorite memory, this is the time.
And I love connecting with people who love skies. So
that's wonderful.
If you love skies, I'd love to connect with you.
All right. So we're going to go on to Jennifer Kay, and we'll see you in the next. Good luck with the show, and it's going to be fabulous.
Thanks so much, Julia.
All right. Bye-bye. Okay. So Jennifer Kay, I think I'm saying her name right. We're having some real technical issues with an echo. So I'm introducing her to you. When she's on and just talking, we don't get the echo, but when I'm speaking with her, we get an echo. So all I'm going to do here is I'm going to introduce Jennifer. I'm going to let her tell you all about herself, all about her art, and I'm just going to sit and wave and smile and be an encouragement to her until she's finished. And she's going to tell you everything about her. And Jennifer, when you're on, let's hear about who you are, where you are, because that might be the reason why we're having such technical difficulties, what you do, where they can find you, especially, and then show us the pieces for Square Foot Show, and then we'll move on. Okay. So I'm going to add Jennifer, but I'm just going to be really quiet. So if you're Zooming, if you're coming in and you're wondering why Julia's so quiet, it's because there's a big echo. Here she comes. Here she comes. Okay, Jen. Okay, Jen.
You're delayed, so I didn't even hear your voice till right now. Can you see me? Can you see me?
There we go. There we go.
Okay. All right. I'm Jennifer Kai. And yeah, you pronounce it Kai. I know it looks like K and everybody says it wrong, but that's okay. So that's what happens when you marry and take on a new name. But you can find me on Instagram, Jennifer Kai Art, and on Facebook, Jennifer Kai Artist, because I had some trouble and I had to start over. And my website is jenniferkaiart.ca. So it's always the same. Yeah, I live in what's considered the far north in Ontario. I'm in Dryden, Ontario, which is in between Kenora and Thunder Bay. So my closest city is Thunder Bay and Winnipeg. So I'm almost like a Manitoban. But we live in cottage country, the Canadian Shield, lots of lakes, lots of trees. And I consider myself a wilderness artist. I love the wild places here in Northwestern Ontario. We kayak, hike, bike ride, whatever, snowshoe. And we love to get out and find places that are really not used very much. So we find where we can park and then go in to find something that's really secluded. And then I can take many, many photos. Sometimes I paint plein air while I'm out camping or sketching by a campfire, something like that. I have a cold, so don't mind my scratchy voice. I am represented solely by Woodlands Gallery in Winnipeg. And that's along with some of our other Square Foot Show artists that have been on the show, Raquel Roth, Michelle Perrier, I can't remember how you say it, Pereira, maybe, Kelly Corbett. These are different people that are in the gallery with me. And then I'm also part of the Federation of Canadian Artists. I'm an associate member, and I'm an elected member of the Society of Canadian Artists. I'm married to my best friend, have been for a long time, almost 36 years or something like that. I have grandchildren, and I'm a full-time artist. I paint in acrylic now. I started off as, hello. I started off as an oil painter back in the 80s, and then I switched to acrylic, and then I've made that my one and only medium for about 15 years now. Trying to think of something to say. It's easier when it's an interview. So I love the coast, and that's why I was really happy to be to come into this show. I've been in a couple of Square Foot shows now, and I really, really like this topic because my holiday places would be the coast. I go to the East Coast or the West Coast because I paint what happens when the wind or when the elements do something to the trees or to the rocks. I love that rawness and the wildness, and I love Canadian landscape in the north. And when I go to the coast, it's like on steroids. You know, everything's been pulled back and sprinkled sideways. So these are my three for the coastal show. This one is My Heart Still Remains. Because I have a son who lives on Vancouver Island, I like to go visit him, and seeing a little tidal pool, it's just memories going on. And then when I painted this, somebody said, "Oh, it looks like a heart." And I went, "Yeah, you're right." You know, so I thought I'll call it My Heart Still Remains, just like a tidal pool, which remains after the, you know, tumultuous waves of the ocean. I really, really like that. That's actually at Ucluelet. We were walking around there, and we caught it one of the days on a calm ocean day, which is amazing because you don't see that very much. Usually it's crashing in. So these are pictures from my trip that I used as inspiration. This one, what did I call? Little brain. Oh yeah, saltwater cure. And I thought it was appropriate because I always say that we're unsalted here in Ontario. And when I go to a salty holiday, it's a real cure. Like it's a getaway, and you feel like the air is so good, and the salt really helps you breathe. And I feel like it's a cure to get away. So I call that saltwater cure, where you're up on a high place looking down at everything. And it's a magical place. And I love, like I said, the rawness of the rocks and the trees formed by the wind. And this one is beachcombing, because that actually speaks to who I am. I would rather be here walking along this rocky shore, picking up driftwood and using it for a new piece. Like I'll sometimes incorporate things like bark or driftwood or even real leaves into some things once in a while. I like a little bit of mixed media once in a while. So again, that's a calm day, the nice lighting coming in, and it's a peaceful place to go and just meditate, pick up all these different finds along the shore. And that's really about it, I think, unless you could think of something else.
No, that's great. Okay, so how about we Okay. I'm going to remove Jennifer. All right, I had to remove Jennifer because there's the sound. Sorry, I got a little mixed up there. Jennifer, you did absolutely great. And it is harder when I don't get to ask you the questions. Sorry about that. But it was really wonderful to hear about your stories and what art means to us. Art captures that moment in time, right? That I've had so many people when they buy my work, it's like it reminds me of that time that I did. So art is emotional. Art meets a need and gives us a calming place. So I hope that you'll collect Jennifer's art. I hope you go follow Jennifer on Instagram, and thank you, Handle with Care. We really get excited about bringing artists to larger audiences too. Their voices are all unique. Nobody's thumbprint is the same. None of their strokes are the same. So I'm going to introduce you now to Julia Lawing, and let's hear a little bit about her. And she's our last artist today. Hi, Julia.
Hi, Julia.
Great name.
Yes.
Yes. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks. It's warming up. It's very nice weather here in North Carolina.
Oh, that's fantastic. I am so excited because I've been checking out your work on the preview. So it'll be fun to talk to you again today. So, okay, we just learned you're from North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And so tell us a little bit more about yourself, including your website or your Instagram.
Okay.
And then show us your pieces.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm originally from Georgia, which for you Canadians, if you don't know, it's right above Florida. And then I've been in North Carolina for about half my life. So anyway, we love the coast. My husband grew up in Rhode Island. And so we tend to gravitate towards the Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and Rhode Island coasts when we vacation. So I have a lot of great memories of growing up on St. Simon's Island, Georgia. And that's known as the Golden Isles. It's Sea Island, Jekyll, St. Simon's.
I've been there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's a beautiful place. So I'll tell you what these have to do with that in just a second. But so my Instagram is Julia Lawing Art.
Okay.
And my website is julialawing.com. And I'm real easy to find if you just Google Julia Lawing. So, yeah.
That is wonderful. Yeah, we used to live in Virginia Beach.
Oh, okay. Not too far.
Yeah. And our visit to Jekyll Island was really special.
Oh, great. Yeah, I have a big show the whole month of April on Jekyll.
Where?
At the Jekyll Island Arts Association in the Goodyear Cottage on Jekyll.
I've been in there. That's amazing. That's so cool.
Yeah.
I love the big oaks.
Yes, they're beautiful with the Spanish moss. And
oh my goodness. It's very it felt nostalgic to me.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
And I think that's what we get a little bit from your work.
Oh, great. Well,
nostalgia.
That's great because that's probably, that's what I like to communicate. So I think it would be better if I picked up the paintings.
I think so.
Okay. So this is the first one. It's called Between Tides. And this is actually, the reference was from a friend of mine who has a kayaking company
Oh,
down there at St. Simon's. So this is a canoe at rest in the marsh between tides. And it's got a lot of green and purple and gold. And
well, you are a master at perspective. Like we're going so deep into this painting.
thank you. I like to try to get a lot of distance in my landscapes. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you. And so that's that. I've mostly done landscapes, but as you can see, I have a love for figures as well. So I decided to play with some figures for this show.
I think this is so fun. Like
So-
I honestly think this is so fun.
I do too. I could not resist this. This is an image of my youngest daughter. We have 4 daughters. And so this is Claire. I think she's watching. Hi, Claire.
Hello. Hi, Claire.
She's 20 years old. And this is from a real photo. And she was actually really reading a book called Beach Read.
That's so fun. No,
Yeah.
it's absolutely beautiful. You've captured the sun and the warmth.
Great.
Yeah. Oh, Handle with Care. I agree. It's a great composition.
And it's called Beach Read, of course.
Yeah.
And then the last one is called Fishing in the Dark. I got that from the song. If you're familiar with that, by the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. But one night, this was a few years ago, my daughters and I were vacationing at St. Simon's and walking along the pier. And the sunset was just gorgeous, a lot of pinks in the sky. It was beautiful. And there were father and son crabbing or fishing or whatever, and another person with a fishing net, and all kinds of people on the pier fishing and crabbing. So
That is absolutely gorgeous.
I always wanted to paint from that photograph. So I finally did.
Well, you did it, and you did it for Scarefoot Show. So are you in any galleries?
Yeah, I'm in a couple, one on St. Simon's, one in Charlotte, and looking to expand. So
Yeah. Oh, that is absolutely marvelous. So, and you've been in our show before.
yes, this is my second one. I was in the January show. So
And I think you did very well, didn't you?
yeah, I sold 4 out of 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this has been really fun, getting to know some Canadian artists. And
And did you send your paintings to Canada, or were they sold mostly in the States?
3 went to Canada. I can't remember exactly where. Maybe Toronto.
Love to buy art.
Good.
They really do. Canadians just love to buy art. And a lot of the, especially Atlantic coast, the childhood memories.
Yeah. Well,
Right?
I can relate. I love the coast. So
Yes, that is so great. Okay, so everybody, this is Julia Lang. You can find her on Instagram and on her website, and you can find her at the galleries that she's in. I'm sure they would love it if you went in and found her pieces there. And you get a little taste of her. Oh, that's Jennifer Kay that we've got up there, Lindsay. There she is.
thank you. Yeah.
And Julia will be thrilled to send you her work and to connect with you as a collector. And that's the neatest thing, I think, Julia, is that we've heard about customers and artists getting to know each other and becoming friends, staying with each other. I have Jennifer mentioned Raquel Roth. Raquel Roth, she's come and she's stayed in my house, and we've had a great time visiting, and the community is just growing. So if you were recommending Squarefoot Show to a new artist, what would you say?
Oh, I would say it's a great chance to expand your reach and connect with other artists and art collectors in Canada and elsewhere. And it's been a great experience. And it's a really fun challenge, I think, to just do those 12 by 12s. It's been a lot of fun.
It is.
That.
All right. Good luck with the show.
Thank you. Thanks, Julia, for having me on.
I'll be watching. I might even be buying.
Oh, great.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, everybody, wasn't that fantastic? So you got a little taste. How many, Lindsay's one of my partners. Lindsay, how many people are in this show, and how many pieces do people have the opportunity to buy? While Lindsay's getting that for us, I want to remind you again, it's squarefootshow.com. All the pieces are the same price. They're all 12 by 12 inches and they're 350 Canadians and there's or 300 US. So there's 36 artists. There's over 100 pieces and you subscribe at squarefootshow.com. We have an automation going on right now. So as soon as you subscribe, you'll get an email. If you don't get that email, please feel free to write us and we'll send that password on to you. We're not giving out the password because we really want you to subscribe. And when you subscribe, oh yeah, I got to show you one of the best parts. When you subscribe, you get to win, you get a chance to win a 12 by 12 by Michelle Paridi. And here, I'm trying to get this in there. This is Michelle Paridi's work. She is a Canadian from Ottawa, Ontario, or close to Montreal. And you, by subscribing, you have an opportunity and she'll be shipping this out to you for free. So that is why we want you to sign up for the newsletter. Also, we just got great art to continue to introduce you. And we're going to be doing this once a month. It's 24 hours only. And I think we're done. I think I've given you all the information I need to give you. And we'll see you at 8 p.m. tomorrow night. Thursday, March 13th at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. And I hope you have a wonderful night. And I hope that you make your weekend, make an artist weekend, buy smart. See you later, everybody.